Hi, this is Gayle. Welcome to my channel. Here we are again tonight. We're live streaming and I want to welcome you in. So y'all just come on in, have a seat, make yourselves at home, and we're going to get going here. Tonight I've got a couple of things that I'm going to be asking your help with. One is my channel name. I've got a big announcement there, but that's not what I need help with. I need your input, your thoughts, your ideas. And we'll get to why in just a second. First, let me make sure that everything's up and running here like it's supposed to be. Once in a while, I'll run into a glitch, as you guys know, and things won't go as well as I had hoped. So let's see what we got going on here. Now, I see that Google has already flagged this for demonetization. I'm going to request a review, which we all know is going to be done on Google's time frame and Google's alone. I wish now that I hadn't looked at that, but that's the way it goes. So there we are. Okay, so you guys, welcome. Thank you all for hopping in. Okay, so what I've got tonight is a big announcement on the channel name, but I also need your input. So for my channel name, y'all know a couple of weeks ago, I tossed out the question of whether or not I should change my channel name. And you guys, you let me know. And it was a complete landslide as far as what you guys said, and I really appreciate it. So I'm hoping to get that kind of response from you guys tonight and over the next few days in comments on the video, because you guys are awesome and you're the reason that I do the video. So what I want to do, hey, Virtue Within, how are you, Leslie? Welcome in. You're going to be a good person to give me your opinion and insight, Leslie. Okay, well, what I need is I need your help picking a charity. I do a year-end gift every year, and so what I need, I can't decide who to give the money to. I only have like $30, which is not a huge amount, but we're going to operate on the theory that every little bit helps. And I've got 3 things that we can choose from. Also, I've got the big channel announcement about my name, and I'm going to toss that out as well. So, hey, Rick Thomas, how are you? Wounded Warriors. That would have been great. It did not make my list next year, but I'm going to write it down. Wounded Warriors. What I'm going to do, I may come back and do this again in about 6 months. We'll see how my channel does and how the YouTube monetization flows. Because right now it ain't flowing much. But the 3 charities, well, I tell you what, I'll just go ahead and put Wounded Warriors in. We'll do that too. Never mind. I'll make this 4. I'll change it on the fly. How's that? So what I've got, let me go to my channel name because I'm going to get sidetracked. And y'all know what it's like when I get sidetracked. So my channel name, I tossed it out a couple of weeks ago as far as, do I keep it or does it go? So everybody was very outspoken. I got a lot of things by Twitter. I got some comments here. I got some comments on my YouTube, on my Facebook page. The channel name is going to remain the same because that's what like everybody said to do. So like I don't even think that I got any suggestions that had votes. I got some fabulous suggestions, but just none of them had the votes, more than a couple of votes. But over 90% of the people who voted, over 90% said to leave the channel name Gayle Crabtree. So that's what I'm going to do. And so we're going to go with that. So I'm hoping that everybody is going to be just as outspoken and supportive of the charities. What I'm looking at is I do this at the year end, and I cannot for the life of me figure out who to give the gifts to this year. So what I'm thinking about is the local food pantry, because they'll give food for the homeless or for families or people who are in crisis. They'll provide a food box for that. Another option is to give the money also to the Ministerial Association, but designate it for backpacks, because the kids that don't have school supplies need a backpack, obviously, for school. So that'll help with that. Or should I go ahead, as you suggested, and go Wounded Warrior? Or should I buy school kits, which there's an organization called the United Methodist Committee on Relief, and they help in countries facing disaster. So should I give this $30 for the school kits? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a poll and let everybody vote on it. And that way everybody will know. So it's only $30, but I tell you what, I also want to kind of challenge everybody that's on YouTube to think about giving $5 this year to a charity of your choice, of whoever you would support sometime between now and the end of the year, that you would consider kicking in, you know, just $5 or whatever you can afford. You know, stick it in the Salvation Army red kettles at the stores, or wherever you think, the school, to buy lunches for school kids, the children's hospitals, whatever you get, whatever speaks to your heart. But I would like to challenge you to think about it, and if you're a YouTuber, to make a little bit of video on it. Hey, Rusty, hi. Oh, the Queen of San Joaquin. Hey, I didn't see you come in. But I was just thinking, because see, here's the deal. There is so much crap in the world right now, and you guys know that. We see the headlines, we see drama on YouTube, we see bad things just in the world. So if we can do a little bit collectively to make the world a better place, can you imagine what that would be? So this $30 is around 10% of what the YouTube videos have earned this year, what I think they're going to earn paced out for the rest of the year. So I'm going to do that. And this is above some other private giving that I do. But I want you guys to just think about, you know, if you have $5, you know, where could you donate that? Or if you don't even have $5, maybe you have $2, or maybe you have $3. You know, whether you buy maybe a McDonald's gift card to give to a homeless person, or give it to, you know, the charity of your choice. You know, so think about it, and think about where you would like to give it, and then give the money, and then make a video on that. You know, the nice thing about the ice bucket challenge is it supposedly raised a lot of money for charity. And I saw a lot of ice buckets being dumped, and that was like really cool, because like no way would I ever be that bold. But I didn't see too many people like actually taking the check in, or doing a follow-up video on what it was like, you know, to actually give that gift over. But I just saw videos on what it was like to be cold and wet. So what I'm thinking is, and you guys pitch in, let me know what you think about, you know, just the challenge of possibly giving $5 or just whatever you can afford. You know, if it's only $1 or $2, or if you happen to be independently wealthy and can write a check for several $1,000s, I don't want to limit you. You know, all I'm asking is for you to think about just kind of turning some of the negative things in the world around by just doing these little random acts of kindness. So there you go. That's my whole big plea. You guys get to help me decide, and I'll be putting that poll up. I'll link it in the description box. Or actually, I'll see about putting one of those little circles up here to see where it goes. So Rick Thomas has commented, yeah, the food pantry probably would get my vote. The one I donate to has a lot of elderly who have to choose between food or medicine. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about those folks who are in the struggle, but wounded warriors struggle too. Or, you know, I guess another option would be for me just to give, just divide this list up and take the $30 and divide it between each one. I guess that's a possibility. So, but we'll see what we think. Rusty, it was good to see you last night, man. Thanks for joining this live stream tonight, too. Oh, and the Queen of San Joaquin, we are so pumped. Y'all, she is going to help me with a video for class, and she's going to give us information on what we should do to prevent a car accident. And so we're going to talk for a minute about car maintenance with a first day class that I'm taking at school. So, Queen, I am so pumped for that. And hey, Drive Shaft Drew, hi and welcome. Come on in. Okay, Drive Shaft, you missed. We were just talking earlier. I'm asking for some help from you guys on making a decision, and that is I do a gift at the end of the year. Hi, Amo and Izzy. But anyway, I do a gift at the end of the year, and we were just talking about the gift, and I'm not sure where to give it. So I'm going to put something down below and let you guys vote. And so what I'm looking at is either the local food pantry, and this is just $30, okay? But what I'm doing is I'm looking at maybe giving it to the local food pantry or giving it to the Ministerial Association, who also does the food pantry, but designating it for backpacks. They do a huge backpack giveaway every year for school here in this community. And I want to say this year they give away either 500 or 700 backpacks. You know, I had the number in front of me, but now that I go to quote it, I forgot what it was. So I'll have to look that back up. It was either 500 or 700. Anyway, it was AKA a bunch. So there's that, the food pantry, school kits. United Methodist Committee on Relief is collecting school kits for places like Puerto Rico and natural disasters. And Rick suggested the Wounded Warriors. So if you guys, you know, definitely comment on that and let me know what you think. And another option is I just split $30 between 4 organizations, because that's a possibility. So Virtue says, I vote for the food pantry. Dry Shaft Drew, food pantry, keep it close to home for the ones in need. They'll definitely do that. So, they do a lot of good work. With the food pantry, it can go to older people, it can go to families, it can go to people who are just down on their luck right now. So there's no limit of age or anything on that. And they do a lot of good work. I used to sit actually, I used to be the treasurer for the Benevolence Association that handled the food pantry. And it was really humbling to see people who came in and needed help and to know that they were actually able to get some. Now, they can't always get help because the thing is, you know, the funds they have, the money has to be there and the food has to be there. And if it's not there, you know, obviously you can't give out what you don't have. But yeah, it was really cool to see that. So. And in a moment, Izzy says, oops, I think I missed the start of this. That's okay. Just jump on in. What it is, I do a gift every year, charity gift. And so what we were doing is talking about the gift giving and just getting y'all's input on where you think it should go. And then I'll post it later on. I'll do a video on it. And I was also, as part of that, I'm kind of challenging everybody that sees the video to donate, you know, like $5 between now and the end of the year, or some money, whatever you can afford, whether it's $1 or $2, whether it's $5, whether it's $500, just really whatever you can do to a charity. And then if you are a YouTuber, to post a video on like giving that money or writing the check or picking up food or just how you felt when you did it. Like, let's say you give $5 to a homeless person and you don't want to do a video on you giving it to a homeless person, but just post a video and say, hey, you know, I bought coffee, or you know, I gave $5 to a Relay for Life program, and this is how it felt. You know, and just take some of the crap that's in the world and just kind of infuse the world with just a little bit of positive energy now and then. And we can't change the whole world, but we can make our little corner better. And so that's all I'm suggesting with the videos. And hey, Clara, come on in. It's good to see you. Y'all, I don't know if you know each other, but right now we've got in here, we've got Leslie with Virtue Within, Rick Thomas, the Queen of San Joaquin, Rusty Faith, the Drive the Shaft, Drew, Emo, and Izzy. And did I already say the Queen of San Joaquin? Yes. Okay, I'm being told yes. And Clara Nielsen. Now, Clara, bless her heart, she has like known me for years, and she has survived. How cool is that? So if you guys don't know each other, then shoot some emails around and get, y'all are all good people. So here we go. Let me pull this up here. So there we go. That's my kind of whole thing for the live stream tonight. The rest of it, I just thought we could chit chat and kind of hang out together. I do try to keep the live streams to about an hour, just to be respectful of everybody's time. And yes, ma'am, Leslie, it is about being salt. And Leslie is saying, which is Virtue Within, she is saying, Gayle, you're absolutely right. We are to do our part in being salt. And yes, ma'am, she has got it. And Clara, honey, thank you. But I'm gonna refrain, Clara, from making a snarky comment about never mind. But Clara is really sweet. She is right, and I'm the most awesome woman she knows. And I was gonna make a snarky comment on her needing to get out more often and meet a lot of people, but I'm not gonna do that. And Clara, just so you know, John's over here and he's chuckling and shaking his head. Thanks, John.
You're very welcome. Hey, Clara.
So, and she's laughing, John. She
Yep.
says, LOL. And Imone Izzy says, nice seeing you, Gayle. It's nearly 1 a.m. here, so I'm going to head off. But just wanted to pop in and say hi, albeit briefly. Hi, Imone. Goodbye, Imone. Thank you for coming in. 1 a.m. is pretty late. So go off, get some rest, and thank you for coming in. And the Queen of San Joaquin says, I need to give back to my community as well. Winter is coming, and I want to give out some sleeping bags to the homeless. That would be a great way, because I don't know, that's something that people often think about, is how much the homeless need sleeping bags. So I think that's awesome. I actually have worked with homeless people and also street people, and things like that. I don't think it's thought about that much. You're going to be doing something really special there. Okay, bye, Mo and Izzy. Toodaloo to you too. Get some rest. And did I just see Steve pop in? Hey, Steve, it's Herforts. Welcome in. And Drive Chef Drew is saying hello. Herforts, hey, buddy. But yeah. And I don't know what's up with YouTube demonetizing everything, but it's frustrating that they pegged this video right off for demonetization. But hey, if you've got Google Red, looks like this can still earn. So my thoughts were anything raised tonight could go toward charity, but that's okay. We can still talk about it, and you guys can still help me decide. So. And Dry Chef Drew says, every winter our group buys used winter parkas and passes them out to the needy. There you go. That with the sleeping bags. That'll work. Okay. I got a little tweet there. I was checking it. Clara says, are they demonetizing you? Yes, Clara, they are. This video or this live stream has already been demonetized. I got a flag on that. And the flag just means that the little green symbol goes to yellow. So like super chat donations, those still are okay. It can still earn super chat, and it can still earn through YouTube Red. But as far as YouTube running ads or anything on it, they're not. Of course, the plus side is that you don't have to fool with watching ads. The negative side is there's no revenue. So it's just the way life is working. And then the last video that they demonetized was, where did it go? Was the one on Homer, Alaska that I just did. That was a couple of days ago. And you know, that really throws me, because what is not advertiser friendly about the video about Homer, Alaska? I have no clue, because I thought it was pretty G-rated. So, and I'm a little frustrated too that when you go to ask for a manual review, now they're saying that the review won't be done until after that video has received 1,000 views in a 7-day period, which is really pretty much leaving out most smaller YouTubers. You know, like maybe if your name's Casey Neistat, you're going to hit that. But most of the regular YouTubers, I don't think most of us are going to get 1,000 views in a week. Unless I'm wrong. Maybe you guys are getting tons more views than what I think, but yeah, Clara, I don't get it either. Well, I do and I don't, okay? I get the fact that they have to protect their brand, but I don't get to the extreme that they're taking it to. And my suspicion is that there's such a backlog of videos that are being requested for manual review that they're probably having to draw the line and look at what channels are they most likely to actually lose revenue on. Because if they don't show ads, they don't make money either. So I doubt that anybody really likes this situation right now. So, and Drive Shaft Drew is saying, no, he gets more like 100 a month. Yeah, I can relate to that. And the Queen says, gloves and sweaters too. Giving out jackets is a great idea, Drive Shaft Drew. Yeah. There you go. Gloves are a big deal. Yeah. Clara may not need to give out gloves to the homeless too much in Las Vegas, but most of the rest of the areas could consider that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, going back to the monetization thing, I get that they're having to be overcautious. I just wish that there was a way that they could approve things a little quicker. You know? So have you guys been hit with the demonetization? I know we've got several YouTubers in here. And she says, geez, the Queen is saying, geez, they'll demonetize anything. Lately, I think so. And of course, this all started because some really, I'm not going to say anything that's going to set the internet waves on fire and give them more reason to demonetize. But I do think that they're having to be cautious, and that they've taken the cautious to the extreme. And that's really, I better not say too much on my opinion on that, but surely to goodness, there has to be a way that small YouTubers won't get totally slammed at the expense of kind of big YouTubers. And I don't get it. I mean, I kind of get it, but I don't appreciate when the larger YouTubers are like, oh, YouTube's out to get us all. Well, I don't think they are. I think they're just trying to protect themselves and to protect the brand so that this platform will be here for a millennia, you know. So. And Steve Herford says, problem is that no one knows anything about YouTube facility. How many employed there? 10,000? 10? Could be. And the Queen says, bye, Drew. So, Drew, we will see you if you are leaving. Okay, there you go. Sorry, but I have to go later on. Bye, Drew. Thanks for popping in. And Drew says, yes, on lots of the videos, they're flagged. Mine too. And you've got a real point there, Steve, because nobody, I would imagine YouTube to be pretty big, but you never know for sure. I guess there are stats on that somewhere floating up there online, but really, who knows? You know, I've seen some places that you would think were really, really big, and they had like 3 people in the office. You know, so yeah. Tomlin, come here. I just dropped my pen. I'm going to let him get it. Tomlin, give. Yeah, come here, buddy. Hey, give. Hey. All right. Can you? Well, I didn't want you to stick your nose on the video, but I guess that's what's going to happen. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. You want to pop and say hello? Huh? Hold on. Say hi, Tomlin. What is that? You say hi? But thank you for my pen. Okay, back to the... Okay, that was Tomlin. I got fussed at the other day for not having him on the live stream like I do on the videos. So there you go. And he gave me back my pen too. Yeah. So now he's just going to be a hound for attention. There you go. But that's all right. Put this back together here. So yeah, it's kind of crazy though about the demonetization, because there's no way to know for sure what YouTube is going after. And And Clara says, it goes through Watson AI, a computer server that picks up on certain words or phrases. The major shareholder in Twitter was just arrested, the same Saudi prince that owns the top floors in Mandalay Bay. And then she's talking about Tomlin. At least I think she is saying, "Aw, he's cute. Thanks." And the Queen says, I have, but I understand of some of my vids are kind of inappropriate. Well, I mean, you're always going to have the occasional video, or I think the occasional person, but most of us, I really feel like, are out there trying to make videos, trying to put out interesting and engaging content that people will want to watch without just wasting air. But who knows? I mean, we can sit here and we can talk about it and throw up our hands, but at the end of the day, YouTube's going to do what YouTube's going to do. And then with me, I'll just, when I have videos that are demonetized, I'll just console myself with petting the dog. How about that? Okay. Seems to work for you. Okay. And Claire, I'm going to have to check into what you say about the Saudi prince. I have been slammed with school and life and everything, and I haven't had a chance to look. Some of you guys may know there was a storm that went through here near my church. My church wasn't damaged, but there was some crazy stuff in the community with trees down everywhere and stuff. So my thought process has not been in the game in the past couple of days, but I will check on that. I try to read the news headlines at least. Occasionally it works. So. And Claire says, none of your bids are controversial, but they allow porno. Wow, yes. Well, I mean, they may allow it, but that doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to be monetized. You know, I mean, it's anybody's guess. Yeah. I am a little concerned, though, because I'm looking at lining people up to doing a channel just on overcoming obstacles. And a lot of that's going to be somewhat controversial just because of the nature of the beast. You know, when you start talking about health challenges and different types of assault and recovery and PTSD, it's not going to be nice and fluffy for everyone, or for anyone, I should say. So I'm a little concerned about the monetization there, because I don't think there will be any, at least not the way YouTube's going. But, you know, I'd rather them take these steps, though, on monetization and keep the platform around than to, you know, go the way of some of the writing sites that I used to write for and such. Or, Clara, we don't want them to go the way of Geocities. Okay, and Hertford says, I checked a 2015 YouTube stat, and this is what it said. Okay, and Clara says, get a Patreon account. I thought about that, Clara. I just can't figure out really how to do it. The nuts and bolts of running it. It was suggested that I could, one of the things I could do for a Patreon account is do postcards every month from wherever I am or have been. So, I mean, I could think that's a good idea, but I don't know, like, what to do beyond that. So I may tap your brain for some ideas. Okay. I did get a donation on my last live stream of $2. And I was told to go buy treats for the dog, which I've already done. And the Queen says, I'm going to go over to Twitch in the next couple of months. I've looked into that. It's a little confusing for me. I've also looked at Vimeo. I think it's Vimeo. Is that how you pronounce it? If I'm pronouncing it wrong, let me know. I've looked at that, but I didn't think that platform was very user-friendly. Twitch looked a little bit more user-friendly, but I was just confused by the whole thing. And Clara says, okay, you can put your buds up there and monetize. Okay. We'll have to look at it some more. Yeah. It's a little crazy. And Herc Sports is saying between 600 and 700. Wow. That kind of surprises me, actually. I wonder if that's in one facility or if they have different offices around the globe. That would be interesting to know. But whatever it is, they need to hire some more so we can get some video approvals going a little faster than 1,000. You know, I think kind of what I'd like to see them consider doing is back in the dark ages of the internet, there used to be this platform called Geocities. Clara, you probably remember that. And what we would do is we were divided up into neighborhoods, and we had folks who volunteered, and we would go into the different, onto the different websites, and we would look at what they had to offer. And if there were certain words or if they were porn or whatever, we would flag those. And then the powers that be up and beyond us would come back and look behind us, and they would see if it needed to be removed or if the flag just was, if we'd looked at the wrong thing and misflagged it, or, you know, what actions. There were several actions that they could do. So I kind of like to see something like that on YouTube, where they have certain trained volunteers, because we did have to be trained, would go out and, like, if there's a flag, let's say they could have certain levels, and let's say they got a flag for a potential bad word, for example, then maybe the volunteers could go look and say, you know, make a quick judgment call on whether to flag it for the higher ups and release it. So I don't know what the answer is there, but that was a neat program. So maybe YouTube could consider doing something like that. But of course, everybody would have to be trained so we'd know what to flag. And I'm sure there's always the possibility of somebody abusing the system, but the system we've got's a little broken right now. So, and Clara says, GoFundMe is another good fundraiser account. I kind of looked at that. I think Patreon draws my attention more because it's longer lasting. So or it seems to be longer lasting. And then Clara says, it's easy to set up a website too. You get in trouble with those websites now, Clara. But yeah, it is easy to set up a website. I've got both blogs, the you'vebeenreviewed.net and the GayleCrabtree.com. I'm doing that. And then the Queen of San Joaquin says, there are a couple of mechanics on Twitch making a living doing live streams, so I thought about trying it out. That would probably be great, with you having something that you can show or do. That would probably be really good. And definitely keep me posted on your videos because I want to watch them. I'm really excited, really, really, really excited about the live stream coming up in class. And Claire Nielsen said, with Geocities, remember. Yep. There you go. And that's something that I really miss Geocities. It was a great website platform. It was free. And then they went public and you could have stock. And then Yahoo stepped in and bought them out. And now there is no more Geocities. And I'm not sure how much longer Yahoo's going to be around. I heard something or saw something about them potentially being bought out, I think. So who knows? And it could just be that there's a life cycle to everything, and that was just that cycle. I don't know. But yeah, it was good. And my computer just wigged out. What did it do? Okay. I don't know what it did. But you guys are still here. I'm back. So my whole screen just kind of flashed black for half a second there. And so now it's back and it all looks fine. So I'm not going to worry about it. For the moment anyway. I'll worry about it later. Clara says, how are the girls? They're okay. They're doing great. You know, it's nice having them married off. And, you know, it just, as a parent, it just gives you some security knowing that your child is not out in the world kind of alone, that there's somebody special in their lives. So that gives me a lot of reassurance. How are your kids? How are your girls? And the queen is laughing. Yep. And Leslie says it looks fine here too. Okay, good. Because I was worried for a minute there. Because it also seemed like the chat room paused. That's what I was staring at the screen for. But it's moving again. So, okay. Yeah, I think my computer is about to cross over the great beyond. And I'm hoping it holds on just a little while longer. At least let me get through the school semester, at least. If it can get me through next semester too, that will be great. So, nice laptop. Good laptop. So we're going to hope. All right. Well, Clara, it sounds like those are both positive things for the girls. I see Ashley sometimes posting on Facebook, which is cool. Now, there's a slight chance I'll go out to California this summer. There's actually a YouTube, well, not a YouTube thing, but there's actually a thing for video creators in June out in California. How much longer in school? Well, how long is forever? Because I think that's about how long it's going to take. I've been going part-time and not making very good progress. So I've got, right now, I've still got about a semester and a half, if I was going full-time, left to go for sociology. And so that's for my associate's degree. And so I don't know, I guess about another 2.5 years going part-time to get the bachelor's degree. But the thing is, you know, my husband's got his education, my daughters both have their education. He started talking about going back and getting more education, and I'm like, stop. it's my turn. I have been last on the totem pole, so it's my turn. So that's what we're doing. And the Queen says, where? I think it's in Anaheim. Let me pull that back up. Yeah, it's in Anaheim. But, you know, nothing's said in concrete yet. But yeah, it's VidCon, VidCon, and it's in Anaheim. And it's June 20 to 23 at the Anaheim Convention Center. But if YouTube keeps demonetizing everything, I'm not going anywhere. So, and Clara says she's in Fresno. Cool. I don't know where that is in relation to Anaheim. And Leslie says, it was nice chatting with you, Gayle. It's bath time in Ohio. Leslie, it is good chatting with you too. And you have a good evening in Ohio. And guys, this is one of my favorite channels. So go check her out. It's Virtue Within. She has become a very dear lady to me on YouTube. So go check her out. And I'm not kidding about that, Leslie. And the Queen says, I'm going back to school next year to finish my Master Automotive Tech certificate. I only have 8 units left, just that never finished because I had a full-time job at the time. Yep, those full-time jobs will get you, plus being a mom, for those of us who are moms. And Leslie says, I sure will, dear. You too. Okay, you take care. Because I know with education, it's like things get in the way. So whether you're a mom or whether you're working, sometimes things just happen. So that's why I told everybody, it's my turn. And the Queen says, you're closer than me to Anaheim. Queen, how many hours would you say that you are from Anaheim? And Leslie, it's true. You don't have to blush. She says, I'm over here blushing. No, you don't have to blush. The truth shouldn't make you blush. It's okay. You know, she does some good series on her channels, folks. Not kidding you. Yeah. You know, I wonder, if I did another road trip to California, I could probably squeeze in a few more stops. And the Queen says she's about 6 to 8 hours on Anaheim, depending on traffic. Okay. So, I was thinking about flying. Let me do some more thinking about that. If I drive, I might have to go through Ohio. And Claire is saying, Queen, where are you from? And, okay. But VidCon is this, what looks to be like an awesome convention for all kinds of video creators. They've got a really good lineup on people who are participating as far as last year goes, on lots of panels, lots of information. There's a meet and greet, some workshops. Really just seems to be some neat stuff going on. So if I get to come out it will be an awesome thing, and we'll have to see about sneaking in a few other stops. So let's see, if I go from Tennessee to Ohio, or go from Tennessee to California, there's got to be some way that I can sneak in Ohio and Nevada and go to California and do the thing there and maybe swing north. All I need to do is be independently wealthy, and that would solve the whole travel problem. And the Queen says, Lodi area, and then she says, I'd love to go to VidCon. And Clara says, cool. Yeah. Have you looked into VidCon? It just really sounds amazing as far as the lineup and all of the things to offer. And Clara is saying, need a bus to bring everyone with you. Yep. Of course, if we bring enough people, we could have our own little, some kind of con, a women con or something like that. I'd like to get back into Canada sometime too. The people, oh my gosh, the Canadians were so nice. I have got to tell you, some of the nicest people I have ever met on the planet have been in Canada. As far as helpful when you got stuck and you weren't sure and needed directions, and just in general being polite, great people. And Queen of San Joaquin says, I can fix the bus if it breaks down. There you go. I bet you can fix anything. You know, I actually had a breakdown the last, well, not this past time, but when I drove to Alaska the first and second time, I had car problems both times. I would love to have had your information and just kind of picked your brain. It worked out though, but it was a little tense both times. Yeah, the first time I got from here to St. Paul, Minnesota, and my timing belt snapped, and they had to tow me into Fargo. And then we weren't sure if Fargo could get the part or not, and it was kind of intense there, but they wound up getting it. And then that was the car problem for that trip. And then the next trip, we're going, and we are on the Alaska Highway, and we are in the middle of nowhere after midnight. It's all semi-dark, and we had just crossed about 80 miles previous to go from Alaska into Canada. We're in the middle of nowhere, and then boom, there goes the water pump. So it was one of those, I can't even explain it. It was very, very tense for a little while, but also by being in the van, we had all our stuff with us. So we had food, we had a porta potty, we had food, we had a bucket, and if we had to use it, which we didn't. And then just as these things get worked out, when the timing belt broke and my husband was like wrestling with the van and trying to get it pulled over safely to the side of the road on gravel, he got it to a stop right in front of a porta potty. So it just, this whole story about that breakdown was just, if anything bad could happen and have good things surround that bad thing, then I guess that's the best way to put it, because we had the breakdown. It was after midnight. We had these things with us, plus blankets, so we weren't going to freeze, and we had food, and we had a way to fix it, and we had a way to take care of other biological needs. And it was after midnight though, so we are sitting there, and to this day, it still amazes me because we're like flagging cars down, both of them that we saw, and like a truck or two went by, but they can't stop. And dummy me didn't think to bring a CB, which I did this time. And then there's this lady in this pickup truck, and I'm thinking, soaking wet. She was maybe like 100 pounds, and she was about my daughter's height, around 4'10". And she just pops out of her pickup truck and she's like, "Hi, can I help you? Is everything okay?" And she's just checking. She's not like a repair shop or mechanic or anything. She's just a lady traveling on the road at the middle of the night in the middle of nowhere in a dark spot, willing to hop out of her truck and respond to our wave. Now, I like people and I don't mind helping, but I don't know if I was by myself, if I would be getting out of a pickup truck in the middle of the night to check on anybody on the side of the road. I don't care how much they're waving. So that was really cool. And then with her help, we were able to get in touch with a repair shop in Beaver Creek, Canada, which was behind us. So the guy had to come out and he towed us for, I can't tell you how long, to get to his shop. And the tow truck driver was also the mechanic in the quote town, and he was able to fix it for us. And he was like so nice, because when you're staying in the van and your van breaks down, then you've also lost your accommodations. And he was actually willing to let us stay in the van on his parking lot. I mean, there's like all this stuff there, and he was willing to let us stay there like at night and stuff. So that was not a problem. And then, of course, he didn't have the water pump in stock, which just figures, and because you can't keep everything in stock, and I don't mean figures in a bad way. But he had to send back to Alaska, which was obviously, I mean, the border is like, I don't know, 3 miles down the road, but the nearest parts place is in Tok, which is probably about another couple of hours beyond that, easy. And he didn't charge us any extra to go and get the part or anything else that he needed. And it was just like the nicest thing. And if you have to have a bad thing happen, you know, and all these, it was just, I'm still just speechless on how it all came together. And I thank God for it. And I mean that literal. I don't know what you guys' religious beliefs are, and I'm not preaching. Clara, I know yours, and I appreciate it. But you and I are on the same wavelength, I think. And, you know, just for everything good that came through, I mean, we got a discount on the work that he did. He could have gouged us anyway, but he didn't. He was within his rights to charge extra, because the person that he sent to go get the part, he lost a whole day of that person working just to go back over into Alaska just to get the part. And so, like, here, I possibly wouldn't have gotten out of a delivery fee for something like that. And it was just, you know, he let us stay there. Oh, and the woman who stopped, not only did she speak English, which not everybody does, but we didn't have a cell phone signal, and she didn't have a cell phone signal with a regular phone, but she happened to have a satellite phone. And even though it couldn't keep a signal, it did a good enough job to get us connected with help that could come out. And what still amazes me to this day is, of course, we don't know what the next town is coming up or how far we are from the town behind us or anything like that. But we're trying to figure this out, and she stops and she's like, you know, I might just accidentally have a phone book in the car from 2006 or two, I'm being told, 2002. And she did. And it happened to be for the town that we needed. And the same number happened to still be good for the name of the repair shop. And he was willing to answer in the middle of the night. So, I mean, the chances of somebody being willing to stop who had a phone, who had a satellite phone, and a decade old phone book that still had current information for the shop, and him willing to come out and then not charging us. I mean, and AAA even took care of the tow. We didn't even have to pay for that because AAA kicked in and they were good on the tow because he happened to be a AAA shop. It's just, you know, whenever I think about that, I'm just always amazed. Somebody told me that they think it's, they gave me a good term called road trip magic. And I don't know if they just made it up on the spot or if it's really a thing, but that's just really kind of the way it was. And it was just one of those cool, really bad things, you know. So to give you an idea on the repair, Queen, you'll appreciate this. The van's water pump broke. So, of course, we also had to have the hose changed and the fluids and everything. And it's a Chevy Express 2500. And we paid just a little over $300 and not quite $400 to get the repair done, including that part that he had to go and send back to Alaska to go get. And Clara's saying that was God's angels, and I think you're right. And the Queen of San Joaquin said, haha, I like that, road trip magic. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that was a real thing, but I don't know, but that's what happened. So it was just, every time I think about that. And then this last trip, we had a really interesting thing. And that was a forest fire that was in British Columbia. And we're going down the road, and I'm not even to the Alaska Highway yet. And I'm about to tell you all my stories, and I'm going to use part of these in future videos. So I apologize now if you get bored watching my videos in the future. But the Queen says, wow, that's incredible. He really gave you guys a deal. Yeah, I mean, I think so too, because I know that was not a quick job, and 2 people worked on it, not just one. And I know we used the miscellaneous shop supplies that you always have. But, I mean, he had the van. We were there, I know, 2 or 3 nights. Let's see. If you count the night, aka morning in the middle of the night, then we were there 3 nights. And he wasn't going to work on Sunday to like get us out of the shop, but he was like, you know, I feel for you in the predicament, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, you know, put this together for you on Sunday. And he did, and it's just, it's amazing. But it wasn't just him, you know, it was also, you know, the likelihood of having somebody in the middle of the night and all that stuff. So, and then this last time, we didn't have car problems, but it was like forest fires everywhere. And the folks in Canada alone are amazing. And in British Columbia, we were going through, and it's nighttime, of course, because very few things seem to happen to me during the day. There's always that element of darkness. So the young girl who went with me, we're driving up the road, and we're on 97, and she looks out her window, and she goes, oh, is that a fire? And I looked, and it's like this whole big portion of the valley is orange. And my heart just stops because I don't know for sure where I'm going. I don't know where the fire is. I don't know where it's heading. I don't know how big it is. Our cell phones haven't been working. We don't have a radio signal in the van to turn into a news station to get this information because we're trying what the signs say and it's not working. And I'm like, I'm trying to be calm about this because she's youngish, college age, and I don't want her to panic, and I don't want to panic. So I'm like, okay, wherever the next pull-off is, we're going to take it, and we're going to sit back, and we're going to get the maps out, and we're going to try to assess. And I'm thinking, you know, do I go back, and is the fire back towards us, and all this stuff? So we get to the overlook, and there are people there, locals, who are out. And again, middle of the night, because nothing can happen in the daytime. But the people who were there and had gathered at the overlook were able to tell me how to go to get around the fire. And I could not go the way I had planned to go on up 97 and then get on the Alaska Highway. I had to go all over the world to do it. And Clara says, hey, sweetie, I have to run and cook dinner. I'm being paged. All right, Clara. Well, thank you for hanging out. I will see you. And the Queen says, we had some terrible fires here in California. And Steve Herford says, I have to go. Live streams eat up my CPU. I had to restart my laptop, and now I got to go. Well, Steve, thank you for hanging out. And you guys check out each other's channels if you get a chance, because you're like some of my favorite people on the internet. Leslie and Sue and Claire and Steve, you guys are just among my favorites. So check out each other and connect. So. And Queen, I am appreciative of the fires that you guys had in California. Those are so scary. And Clara says, love you, night. Love you too, Clara. You take care, okay? Give the girls a hug for me next time you see them. And the Queen is saying bye. Steve's saying bye. So, thank you guys all for coming in. Well, I actually have gone way beyond. I try to keep the live streams to an hour to be respectful of y'all's time, but we have gone way over. And I so appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close this out. But thank you guys for being part of the channel and for hanging out and for just being, y'all, you're just awesome selves. So you guys take care and thank you. Thank you for hanging in. So. Sorry, I'm staring at you. My computer did that weird thing again too about going black. So anyway, y'all, thanks a lot. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you all. My usual send off is I'll see you out about and online. So thanks. Bye.